Some bread. Hey everybody, it is Friday evening. Pardon the rush here. I have been out helping my brother and also trying to get something to eat, supper going, and all that too. So it gets a little bit hectic, but that's fine. I'd rather be busy than not, right? A lot of what I do on a day by day basis is just interact with people and here for family and go out in town and see what kind of stuff I can get into. Good trouble, not into the bad trouble. I see why my little legs on my microphone are not supporting me correctly. I'm gonna have to turn the fan on though. Definitely warmed up in here. Oh goodness, that feels good. What are your plans for the weekend, everybody? I know there's a lot of stuff going on around the world today, and especially here in the United States, and well, actually, everywhere. It seems like the world's on fire these days, doesn't it? And it's called peace, though. right. So I've been out doing some work on the side of the house for my brother, and he basically, this house is built out of on the exterior, and a lot of the finish work around it is all sawmill lumber. And so our cousins have a sawmill here in eastern Kentucky, and so they do really good work, a lot of good stuff. They've been doing lumber work like that. I think Kenneth's probably approaching 70. I think he's probably been doing it all of his life, except for just a few times when he wasn't. But for the most part, it's been sawmill, pulling trees out of the forest and turning it into stuff we can use to build houses out of. And so that's good. I mean, he likes doing that kind of thing. I'm glad he does. So let me catch up here for a second, folks. What's the design button up here? What is that all about? Oh, I see. We got some new stuff going around here. And I'm going to kind of play with this thing. You got a news thing, black with white. You got the round version. You got the white version. You got the air version. Default logo. Oh, look, you can do all kinds of stuff on there. Let me add a logo in here. I'm going to add one to it and let's see what happens. An overlay. Oh, you can do all kinds of different things on this. They've upgraded their systems here on Restream. Aha. Cool, huh? Tells you how many times I get to look into all the different stuff that's around here. They've got all kinds of background options too, but might as well just throw it out there. What you see in the background, by the way, let me see. One is they got this outlet down here at the bottom that I got to get a cover for. It's like a 4-ganger. But I'm looking for one that's made just of wood, like some kind of teak or something like that. And then I want to, decorate it up a little bit. This is my brother's house, so he said just take this back room, do whatever you need to do to it, since I'm here as a caregiver for everyone in the house. But anyway, the image up on the wall, this right here, some of you may recognize that. That would be Bancroft Hall at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. And if you don't know it, there are 4.3 miles of hallways in that thing. 4.3 miles of hallways in Bancroft Hall. Some of the stats we had to learn when we were going through there as freshmen, right? Or plebes, they called us back then. They probably still do, but how it is. Yeah, there's like 4.3 miles of hallways in that thing. And Tecumseh, the Indian chief, is likely just right directly behind where the artist who drew this, or who painted this image. Here, this is a painting by a Naval Academy grad, and it was It was available through the Naval Academy Museum, and the historian there knew me and another person, and well, knew the other person more than me actually. Uh, but we were there at the same time, so she gave us both one of these posters, these paintings. Actually, it's a painting from my alma mater, and let's see here. Let me see. I'm trying to show you some stuff. But anyway, so right back, if you're stepping right back here, Tecumseh's here, big Indian chief, gets all painted up and everything all the time. And let's see, the midshipman store is around back to the left side and down, back in and underneath. Also on the back side would be, I forget what the name of the place was at now, what it's called. But anyway, over here is the Severn Bay and the Severn River is out here. And that's where we had all of our sailing ships and the YPs for the summer stuff, the yard patrol boats. And that was out there. And there's a big practice golf or football thing out on the other side, and tennis courts. And they've changed it a lot, though. It's been changed a lot. And so the whole area is different. This was painted in 1996. So let's see what it says up here in the corner. Limited edition print. It's a limited edition one. So very fortunate, very, very honored to have a copy of this here. I got to adjust it slightly and get some stuff in there to fix the frame and everything and make that all work out good. And over here is my diploma from the Naval Academy. So Bachelor of Science, Applied Sciences, 1984. It's got my name, Cassandra Lee Williamson, on it. A couple of things up here. These are from college programs I took later in life. Up at the top, yeah, Omicron Delta Kappa. That's the National Leadership Honor Society. I'm a member of, a lifetime member of that. And you've got Department of Veterans Affairs letter of appreciation up on the top, which is above this. You can't see it up there, but it's in there. And on this side, let me see if I can roll the camera around just a little bit for you. Here we go. And let me see what you can get here. This one is the Declaration of Independence, okay? In Congress, July 4th, 1776. And it's really, you have to pay particular attention to how it was actually written. Not just the words, folks. Not just the words. But how the words were printed on the page. If you didn't know that, I mean, you can look at it and tell that they use not only the words to say things, but also how the words were printed on that page say things too. They do. Let me show you why. Hold on, remember this. This is the in Congress, 1776, July 4th, 1776. And right here we have, you can still see this right here, the unanimous declaration, and in real small letters of the 13 United. That's really small letters because they weren't really all that united. That's what that represents. States of America. They made sure that the 13 United was small. Very deliberate. I mean, they knew how to present things and talk about things and to make it say what they wanted it to say, even without saying a word. When this thing was written, there was no concept of a united 13 states of 13 United States. 1776, folks. It took another 10 years for us to get for this group of states, these 13 small United States, small United and big states, to realize that they needed to band together in a more formal and strong method. And it took a bit to get past that right there. It really did. It changed. There was a big dynamic, a big conversation around all of those things. Then up here on the top, this is a This is a reed. It's reeds from it's actually from South Dakota. Yeah, this is from South Dakota. Some Indian friends of mine out there in Rapid City, South Dakota, presented this little reed to me. And basically it says that they handed it to me. I handed them something of the earth, the tobacco. You put it in a little prayer cloth kind of thing. And whenever you hand that off to them, you're giving of the earth to them. And what they did was they made these things. And they were two-spirit, both of these two. They were a couple. Well, there were three of them actually there. But they gave me this. And some of them were, two of them were veterans of the United States military. One in the Marines and another one was in the Navy. And they gave me this and welcomed me into their tribe, essentially saying that we have got a kinship that's unbreakable. They were two-spirit. All three of them were two-spirit two-spirit natives of this land. So I'm very proud of this fact. I'm happy that they did that, and it's really a thrill to have gotten it from them. And this is another thing from the Department of Veterans Affairs, certificate of commitment and stuff like that. Just a handful of crap, around. And nearly every veteran out there, all the veterans, any veteran in the country, for the most part, I think, we all have these coins. This one I'm happy to have. You notice what's on this one. This is a soldier with a pride flag in the background. This is from Sparta, the organization that is supporting active duty transgender people who are serving active duty in the military. Now they're having to kind of focus more on veteran stuff. There's still some of us out there on active duty, but that's first coming. I'm very glad to have received that from them. And this one is, let me see if I can get it up here. Department of the Army, United States of America. And this is from Sergeant First Class E7 of the United States Army. A friend gave that to me there. And down here's another one. This one is from, I got to meet the previous Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Dennis McDonough. He and I met and talked briefly out in Denver, Colorado. And yeah, so this one is from him. This is from Dennis McDonough, Secretary of Veterans Affairs. This is from like I said, the previous administration. And a very nice coin there. This one is from some amazing people who have been around for a long time in support of all of our LGBTQ and plus veterans. This is AVER, American Veterans for Equal Rights, and there's really great people running this program, this organization right now. I don't know if you can see it real clearly, but maybe this will help you a little bit. Something, I don't know. Anyway, this coin, very, 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 very exciting coin to have. My duty, my honor, my right. That was on the back. They were very instrumental in getting Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed. Let me see, got a few more over here. These are some I need to put into a display case, okay, before I do anything with them. This one, probably can't see it real well either, but this is from the New Mexico State Department of Veterans Affairs when I met with their leader out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And this one says New Mexico VA healthcare system. This is the VA system here. The VA system. This is the Raymond G. Murphy VA Medical Center coin. The leadership of that organization presented this coin to me, and I'm very honored to have it as well. Let me see, I got a couple more here. And notice also, does this one have all the emblems on it? No. It had this one, the one from New Mexico, had everything except for Space Force. And let me go over to see what we have here. This one, let's pull it out of this little package. This one is from someone I had an opportunity to meet one time, just one time, very briefly. Met in Selma, Alabama, of all places. He was down there. He was running for president at the time, but got this coin. This is from Lieutenant Pete Buttigieg, United States Navy, 2009 to 2017. Coin from Pete. And on the back side of it, it does have his name back there on the back. It says 2020 and all that on it. Pete Buttigieg for president. So, love that little coin. And the person, Pete, by the way, is a really smart, intelligent person. Well deserving to be called president of the United States if we could ever get him in there. In present day and time, it's going to be difficult to get anybody in there, or is do well. No, I'm not going down that road just yet. All right, here's another one. Let me see. This one is from the University of Alabama's Safe State program. Okay, University of Alabama, and I got it from a commander in the Navy, retired, who was running their Safe State program at the University of Alabama, and we were doing some programs together. Actually, he was sitting in the programs with me, but his is actually, he gave it to me, and it's got Space Force right in the middle. I mean, this is cool. They went out of the way. This is Dr. William H. Weems, Raymond M. Holub, Environment, Health, and Safety Organization at the University of Alabama. Not sure if it's still there or not. Probably too woke for this bunch today. Got 2 more to go down here. Let's see what else we have here. And almost, let me get this out of this little package. It's inside little packages and protective things. Take them out. This one is from, well, got to see what it says here. Oh, I know who it is. This is a personal coin. This is a personal coin from a friend I had an opportunity to sit down with a number of years ago on her podcast in Maryland. And this is Holmes. What was her first name? Karen Holmes, I think. Anyway, that's the coin. And it says 40 years and wondering no more on that. And on the back side, it says, it's got a website and that purple butterfly right there. So it's a really pretty little coin. But this is a personal coin. It's not a unit coin or anything like that. But she was, good person, good conversation. And let me see. Who else do we have down here? Oh, we have one more, folks. One more. There should be a bunch more somewhere. I don't know. These are the ones laying here I needed to take a look at. And this one is from District of Columbia. I did some work with the District of Columbia. Sit on some panels for the LGBT people and trans people and stuff like that. And District of Columbia had an office in the mayor's office of Veterans Affairs that dealt with and addressed concerns for all of its veterans, especially those who were marginalized more so than others. This one, it has on it, thank you for your service. It's got the Marines, the Army, Navy, the Air Force, and all that stuff. It didn't have Space Force on it, though, but it had the little emblem in the middle that says, "We are Washington, D.C." It's right in there. I'm very happy to have this one from the District of Columbia for some work we did together there. And on the other side of it, it's got that. Those are very pretty coins. I've got friends who have tons more than I do, obviously. Still collecting coins. And if you have one of these honor coins or anything like that, and you'd like to send me one, you can do that. I love collecting these little coins. I've got to figure out a way to display them, but I'm not going to display them here at my brother's home, I don't think. We'll leave that alone. We'll see what happens with another property I have going forward. We may decide to do something there and build an Elon Musk's house. Yeah, that would be fun. I'm not even going to tell you what I mean by that. We'll leave it alone at that. It's a Mars colony house. And if you know me, you know me. You know what I mean. So anyway, I've just shared a few things around the room here. Why? Because there's so much crap going on in the world today. I don't even know how to keep your spirits up. And remember, yesterday we did the making an apple stack cake. We made an apple stack cake and got all that done. Actually, I put it together last night, and I'm going to show you the two things on this. Okay. So let me get two images up here. I'm going to show you the finished product after, and we put it together late last night. I did. I fried up all the apples and reduced them down to get a lot of the moisture out of them, and then strained them so that the apples weren't runny kind. Even, they're fried apples. Okay. So let me go over and find the images I want to present here and just show you the end result. And that one. And then I'm going to go over and do this. And there's a couple other things in here that you just absolutely have got to see. I mean, yeah, right? Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's uploading Cake Me. Oh my God. I went into it was Grok. Was it Grok AI? Anyway, it had no, it might have been Gemini. Anyways, one of them was talking to me and suggested as a voice and interpretation kind of thing. So I was talking like we're having a conversation right now with this AI system. And I said, hey, I want to take a couple of pictures and put them together to create something that's kind of artsy and fun and that kind of thing. Now, this is what the cake actually looked like. Okay, sitting on the stove, mom's stove. And this is prior to getting anything clean around there. But we'd cut into it, and that's basically the apple stack cake. It's got it's fried apples layered in every layer between all the different types of cake. And I didn't bother to cut them so that they'd all be flat. I could have cut them and just made it into a really flat layer like that. So I just left the cakes rounded as they came out of the pan, which means that as the taller your cake gets, it's going to start separating at the top, but that's fine because as it separates with each layer and it separates a little bit, that's space for apples to go into and soak into. And right now that thing is sitting in the refrigerator, and I want to tell you that is the best. And then I made also last night I made some peanut butter candy, but it's a peanut butter candy that is different, not your usual peanut butter candy. So what I did was I bought some icing, strawberry icing, cake icing, so that I have little containers you can get at Walmart. They got the different flavors in there. Well, I got the strawberry kind, and so I emptied the whole thing into a bowl, and I put in some powdered sugar, a little bit of powdered sugar, probably about a cup, probably less, about a cup maybe. Probably about a cup and a half. I'm looking to see, yes, about a cup and a half. And then I put in, a good size tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, creamy peanut butter. I could have put crunchy peanut butter in this, but you blend all that together and you put it into a glass plate or a bowl or a pan, like a pie pan. You put it into that, and now you've got this strawberry peanut butter candy. And it is delicious, folks. It really is. It's delicious stuff. I tried it, and I've got some. I'm going, oh my God, I got to try different flavors of that one. I've never tried that before. The crazy thing is, there's a physical therapist who comes in to see mom, and I guess it's beginning of the week, maybe she and I were talking about cakes and food, and we both kind of have an affinity for those kind of things. So she said her dad would make some really good peanut butter candy, but using different flavors of icing, cake icing. And I'm going, oh my God, that sounds so, oh my gosh, that is awesome. So I'd never seen anyone do it like that. And I tried it. And I'm going to tell you, one little piece is all you need. I mean, little piece. So there's the cake. Now today I got the AI system to generate this one for me. And I love that. I just laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed because this image right here is of me from another scene that I'd created by AI system. And let me see if I can find a different one for you. So I'm gonna tell you, if you are not AI systems and trying to learn as you can, just play with it. Play with it. You'll learn what prompts work and how they cause things to happen, and what the end results will be with different prompts. And different AI systems will use the same prompt and do something entirely different. And because it's using a lot of its large language models, and it pulls from all kinds of things to be as creative as it possibly can, and things that you probably wouldn't even think of. Whenever I created the cake image, I had no idea that that's what it would end up looking like. But I was happy with it because it was darn funny. Oh my God. So it took that image of me from here. Let me see if I can open this one up for you real quick. It took it from here. This is another AI image that I had generated. And there's a little movie piece of this. And somebody over on X, on Twitter, they took that image right there, the one you're looking at now on the screen, and then they had me jump off of it. I had jumped out of the background image, ran across in front of all these people talking about, and I lost my Fruity Pebbles or whatever it was. and it was hilarious. It was just absolutely hilarious. So we got that one. This AI generated, but I don't like that one because obviously it misspelled Americans at the bottom. And for some reason, I've got an extra hand showing up behind the poster down there on the bottom too. And I guess there's genetic anomalies in all of this. So this one is just me being angry at what's going on in the world today. And let me see, is that the one that's up right now? Yeah. And here's this one. So these systems, they're really, really cool. They really are. So what I'm saying is, we are not going to be able to put the genie back in the bottle. You got people like Matt Walsh over there and all these people. Matt particularly, he's been loud about it this week. Can't have AI generating movies and stuff. Before long, it'll do all of our jobs and everything like that. And my response back to Matt was, too late. You're not going to put the genie back in the bottle. You're not going to get anybody to regulate it away. Because if we slow the process down here in the United States, our adversaries around the world are going to take it and run with it and run over us if we don't keep up with it too. So no, it's not ever going to be rolled back. It's now the genie's out and it is going on full force, and we had better learn to adapt to this. And otherwise we will get left in the dust. and it really won't. It's happening so quickly. It's happening so quickly right now that if you need to be spending some minutes a day, several minutes a day going through there and just seeing what AI can do for you. Get it to write things for you. Get it to write a poem. Just tell it you want to write a poem and give it an idea. Don't tell it what you want it to say. If I go into an AI system right now, and let me pull up one. I want to show you something here really quickly. I'm going to pull up an AI system. I'm going to pull up mine. This is Gemini, okay? I want to show you something really quickly because you need to know you need to see it. You need to see it in action. Okay. And all I want to do is just some wordplay with this. So let me get to my Gemini account and I'm going to get off of the screens that you see right here. I'm not going to do the artsy stuff at this point. I'm just going to do some things that have to do with AI, wordsmith stuff, using the large language model that it has access to. You're not going to be able to keep up with it all. Thing is, so you better be getting on board and learning all you can. Oh, I can create an image. It's updated. That's one of the options. It's updated it on here. Okay, let me go share screen, go over to window. We're going to click on Gemini and go there. All right, so now you're looking at my screen. Okay, so over on the left-hand side, it keeps track of the stuff that we've talked about in the past. That I have it do deep dive research into things, and actually serious research work. Because most researchers out there, they'll go digging up all these articles, these stories, these published stories and things and studies, and it's easy to miss things. But when you do a deep dive search using an AI model, it has access to millions and millions and millions and millions of records. Why not use it? You'll learn something. You may very well learn something. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee you'll learn something. You don't know it all, whether you think you do or not. And these systems don't. Here's the thing, too. You think it's going to just fabricate a bunch of stuff for you. But you have to be careful about how you word the things you are asking of an AI system. If I went in and asked pointed question like, let me see, let's just go right here and just say this one. Let's say, is Donald Trump a felon? Yeah, connected default, that one. That's exactly right, on the right one. So I'm going to ask a question. Is Donald Trump a felon? Now look, I'm not telling it what my thoughts are on this subject. I'm not giving it any prompts other than asking a question. That's it. Let's see what it says. I don't even know. I don't know what the response is going to be to this. Who knows? Access incredible sources. Let me increase the size of my screen over here a little bit. And I got to scroll over a little. Okay, there, we're good. We're good. So, question, is Donald Trump a felon? Yes. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. On May 30th, 2024, New York grand jury found him guilty on all 24 counts. So he's a convicted felon. And it also doesn't matter to anybody. There's a sign down at the end of the road, down 2.5 miles down Mudlick Road. I have a friend, no, well, I shouldn't say a friend, an acquaintance, somebody there who says he's voting for the felon, and said that he was voting for the felon. So, yeah, I mean, this doesn't matter. The charges related to schemes, hush money stuff, conviction marks the first time for orders. Okay, now watch here. This is the best part about this. Well, besides the fact that it gathers information from multiple sources, and it's not just one source. Let me ask this: how reputable are your sources? Are your sources? How reputable are your sources? Let's ask that question. I'm going to do something. Which response is more helpful? Choice A. As a large language model, I don't have personal opinions. Okay. Now, see, look, I figured maybe it would tell me a little bit about the sources. So let's ask a more specific question. Let's go with a more specific question then. What sources were used? What sources were used to make the statement that Donald Trump is a felon? Let's go ask this. Now realize it's got multiple thousands of sources that it's digging into all across all kinds of stuff. The determination that Donald Trump is a convicted felon is based on widespread, public, and verifiable information from numerous highly reputable sources. These fall into two main categories: primary official sources like the New York State Unified Court System, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, reputable news organizations, Associated Press, Reuters, major news publications, papers like the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, The Guardian, major broadcast networks like ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox News, and PBS, all of which provided extensive live coverage and expert analysis of the verdict. So now this is we know that that's the case. I mean, right, it's not even relevant anymore. over. Who cares, right? It's done and over with, and we'd just like to see the Epstein files. So let me see. Let's ask a more hypothetical question. Let's say, why do you think or let me see. Let me rephrase this. Make it a more neutral question. I'm going to ask about the Epstein files, okay? Let's say, why has the release of the Epstein files, Epstein files, been dripped to the public? What are your thoughts on this? Let's just say, what are your thoughts? Your thoughts on this? I may give you the answer we had a minute ago. Not going to delve into that. Tracing Epstein's release and unpacking the release mechanics. And let's see what it says. We're going to see right here if there's any kind of biases associated with this kind of information that's here. Are you ready? So I don't know what it's going to say. Deconstruct. The release of Epstein files has been staggered across different batches and from different sources, leading to the perception of a drip feed of information. This piecemeal release is not a coordinated strategy, but rather a result of a separate legal and political processes. Here's a breakdown of why the documents have been released in this manner, followed by analysis of the public reaction and consequences. Why are they released in batches? Okay, all that's down in here. So I'm getting ready to wrap up the show. It's been like 37 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, please summarize this. Please summarize your analysis of the release of the Epstein files. All right. So please summarize your analysis of the release of the Epstein files. All right. Summarizing it. All right. So court-ordered release. Let's see how big is the summary. Okay, good. The summary is short. The summary reads like a legal document. The release of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein has occurred in a staggered drip feed manner due to two separate and formal processes, not a coordinated strategy. Court-ordered unsealing, congressional releases. This piecemeal release has several consequences: public frustration, increased speculation, sustained attention, and political tool. Now, watch. Gemini, I have lots of friends who are hillbillies. I do. I'm one too, by the way, if you can't tell from my accent. Who are hillbillies. Can you translate this? Let's see if we can put this in. Hillbillies. Can you translate this into hillbilly, and into a condensed hillbilly version, please? I try to be polite. I don't care who you ask questions of, right? All right. Gemini, I have lots of friends who are hillbillies. Can you translate this into condensed hillbilly version, please? All right. Now, are you ready? Are you ready? All right. All right. Here's the short and sweet of it for your buddies. Folks are wondering why them Epstein papers are coming out slower than molasses in winter. Well, it ain't just one big old pile. You got two outfits dumping them out. The courts and the politicians in Washington. They got to read them first and black out names to protect folks, which takes a coon's age. But it's making everyone mad and suspicious, thinking it's all a big cover-up to protect the rich and powerful.
The whole thing's got folks riled up and trusting the government even less. I find this to be hilarious. Oh my God. It is just crazy funny. So you can use, let me, let's just what's this? What's this? Let's do one more translation. Could you translate this into a Muscovite dialect of Russian for our pals in the Red Square, for our pals on the Red Square. And I know I didn't spell Muscovite right. I know I didn't spell that right either. Okay, could you translate this into a Muscovite dialect, of Russian for our pals on the Red Square? Let's see what it does. Oh my God, here we go. There you go, folks. Translated into Russian, the entire thing. I wonder, is there a hillbilly version of Russian? If so, please translate my buddy's hillbilly version into Russian hillbilly. If so, please translate my buddy's hillbilly version into Russian hillbilly. And I know there's a dialect of Russia that is definitely hillbilly, by the way. Russian hillbilly. Every culture has it, by the way, if you don't know that. Oh, I put a period right there. Okay, so let's see what it does. Is there a hillbilly version of Russian? If so, analyzing linguistic parallels. Approaches. That's a great question. There isn't a direct one-to-one equivalence of American hillbilly dialect and Russian because the cultural and historical contexts are different. The hillbilly stereotype is uniquely American tied to the Appalachian region. However, there is absolutely a country or village way of speaking Russian known as, you can translate that if you wish, which means simple speech. It's the language of a prostoi muskik, a simple common fella from the countryside. It has a similar flavor of being unpretentious, direct, a bit rough around the edges, and suspicious of city folks and authorities. So here is a translation of the hillbilly version into the Russian country fella style. I love it. Oh God. Oh, that is awesome. It is amazing. Now look, see, do you think you had any information like that that could have allowed you to do that? Now I don't have a way of checking any of this because my Russian is very much limited to technical stuff. Okay. Really, and also it's antiquated. Oh, which means, oh, so it's got translated a classic Russian folk idiom meaning to pull a cat by the tail, which means to drag something out endlessly. This replaces the American molasses in winter. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so there you go. We're just having a little bit of fun with Gemini, and it's Friday evening. What do you expect? We're going to leave you with this one. I haven't animated this image yet, but I intend to work on that this weekend. So Have a great weekend, everyone. Try to be as safe and secure as you possibly can. Don't let all the stuff in the world weigh you down. As a matter of fact, if it starts weighing you down, figure out some way to say it satirically. Like, for instance, I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way to point out the stupidity that what Ken Paxton is saying about infiltrating Antifa and transgender people organizations, other than strongly suggesting that we all just inundate the Secretary of State's office with requests to be registered as transgender terrorists in the state. Maybe even let Pam Bondi know. Already have for me.